good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Family First Life Sky's the Limit call. My name is Brandon Kitchings. I am Senior Vice President of Family First Life Marathon, and today I'll be interviewing our special guest, Mr. Sam Hankey, and he is a 20 family protector here at Family First Life, and I'm definitely excited, to speak with him today and learn a little bit more about what Sam is currently doing at this time, where he has now switched his business from helping families in the field to virtual over the phone at this time. So definitely excited to speak with Sam today. Sam, man, just want to thank you, man, for joining us on the call today, man. We appreciate you.
Well, dude, thank you so much, Brandon, for inviting me and having me on the call. And thank you to Stephen and everybody at SkyPoint for allowing me to be on here because, I've been with FFL for 12 months now, and I have learned so much when it comes to helping families from Brandon, Stephen, everybody in the SkyPoint agency and the coast to coast hierarchy. Like, especially from this call, this call has helped me help so many families. So it's kind of full circle to allow me to be here. So thank you guys for letting me come on here.
Oh man, I mean, you appreciate it, man. You deserve it, man. You're out, putting the work in and, helping families day in and day out. I get a chance to witness your work as well because you're on the Marathon call center, if not every day, working and unmuting yourself and allowing us to learn from you and hear what you're going through. And then always there to provide feedback, whenever anyone has questions. So just, couldn't thank you enough as well. Pleasure's all mine. So let's get right to it with them, Sam. Let's get everybody up to speed, man, on what were you doing prior to Family First Life, and how did you find Family First Life, and how did you end up here?
Yeah, so prior to getting my insurance license, I was just going to school full time and I was working part time. I had finished my associate's degree and I had transitioned into my bachelor's at a different school. And at that same time, in 2020, I was planning on going to school, being on campus full time, and COVID hit. And I was going for film, and I was getting a degree just to kind of be able to network and meet other people in that industry. And I wasn't able to do that over Zoom. So I ended up working full time, and there's certain things that I wanted to do at my other jobs. I wanted to kind of create more income, and I kind of wanted to have more control over my schedule. And a good buddy of mine who actually had landed me my previous job, he hit me up and he told me, he's like, hey, if you want to make a really good income, you should do what I was doing before. And he was in life insurance sales. Turns out a couple of years ago, he worked out of the Victorville office with Trey and Andrew. And he kind of just started telling me a little bit about it. I put it off because it didn't sound like something I'd be good at or something I wanted to do. But I started just reading, a couple books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I realized, sales could be a really valuable skill set I could carry with me, not just in the sales industry, but in every department or industry that I choose to go in. So I ended up hitting him back up, and he got me connected with Trey, and I ended up working with Elaine, and that was March of last year. And then I decided to switch to full time in June, and I hit 20K the first time in June, and I've just been full time since. So,
okay, so your first month protecting 20 families was in June.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And I remember, when you came in and just kind of, watching your rise, and, Trey and Elaine was talking about, hey, this young guy, Sam, he's got all the tools, he's hungry, watch out, for Sam. And then I kept seeing, your name on the board, and I'm like, okay, young man is working, and out helping families. And for me, I think, I got a chance to speak with you, and first time I met you, it was like, I could feel the passion that you had and the hunger that you had. And so that's why I think I told you the first day, man, anything you need, let me know. Definitely, just love to help, agents go out and help more families, and help your family as well. So, just seeing that hunger in your eyes from the first time I met you, it was like, yeah, he's gonna do something with this, right? And you definitely haven't let anyone down, alone, you and your family, you haven't let your family down as well. So definitely commend you for that. So coming from, so right now, so what is your age, man, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I'm 22. So I
22.
turned 22 in September. Yeah.
Wow. And man, you're so far ahead of where I was at 22 years old, man. Just the thought process, what you're thinking about, the long-term goals that you have at 22 at this time, so definitely anything, we can do, to continue to help you, grow, that's what we're here to do. So you started out running in the field, right? You're out, running the streets, three, 2-hour drives here and there all over California, right? Helping families. And then I think it was probably about 4 months ago, maybe.
Yeah,
You just,
about that.
yeah, you decided that you wanted to make the switch over to, virtual, and take a stab at that. And then this was before, the gas prices went to where they're at now, however you are in California. So it was like, I can definitely, save some money and maybe help more people over the phone. What was the thought process behind that?
Yeah, so the thought process behind that was, once all the virtual sales training came out, I checked it out a little bit because at the time, mostly everybody was doing Zoom. Nobody, like, there wasn't too much like phone sales, right?
Right.
And I was kind of looking at it, and I was, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think, like, I thought, like, based off of my clients and the people that I go see, I'm like, dude, I don't think they know how to work Zoom. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I was like, I don't think they even know what a computer is sometimes. Um, so I didn't think it was possible, but I ended up running some aged CRM mortgage leads over in Kern County. And I was booking some appointments, and one of the appointments I was booking was over text. So I'd take a picture of the lead, send it to the client, and I booked an appointment with them. And they text back, "Hey, like, I'm assuming this is going to be a phone call, correct?" And I'm like, "Well, actually, I was going to be down the street. Like, I was going to go see you." And it turns out the client was in a different state at the time, wasn't able to meet. So I was like, oh, "All right, fine. I'll do it over the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and see what happens." Because up to that point, I haven't helped anybody virtually. Well,
Mm-hmm.
there's that 25% of the clients that just really want to buy the insurance, no matter who shows up or how someone helps them.
Right.
And so I ended up helping out the client, helped protect the family. And I just, I was kind of blown away. I was like, man, if I can do it once over the phone, maybe I can replicate this.
Right.
And I know that it's going to be a great recruiting tool to bring new agents on that can't go see people in the field, or for whatever reason are not able to, or want to do telesales. So if I want to eventually build a huge team or be able to bring value to agents that work with me, I want to work really hard and crack the nut on this telesales thing to be able to teach others how to do it.
Right. And so you, helping that first family over the phone, it really just opened your mind to the possibilities over the phone, right? And then what did you do? Because I know, but so everybody else knows, what did you do to give yourself um, the best uh, the best chance to be successful at the virtual sale? I know you just didn't just dive into it yourself and just go bumping your head all over the place, right? There was some things that you did to prepare yourself for the virtual sales, to make sure that you're, putting yourself in the best position to be able to help the families virtually. So what were those things?
Yes, I didn't transition everything to virtual at first. I kind of just helped some families a little bit virtually and stuck with in person to kind of make that transition. And I reached out to people that were killing it in telesales or people that were doing virtual sales that were better than me. So like for instance, you started your own call center for your team to do telesales and live transfers. I hit you up and I called you and I was like, Brandon, I want to do this phone thing. You've been doing it for some time. Like what are some tips? I mean, what are some things I should avoid? What are some things I should look into? I hit you up. I hit up Matt Goodrich
Hmm.
because he did everything over the phone.
Hmm.
Um, I reached up. I didn't reach down. I didn't reach out to
Hmm.
people that were negative or didn't think telesales was good or possible or anything like that.
Right.
Um, so I got expert advice. I didn't get advice from someone that's not doing it. Um, and then I also, I reached out to Elaine and Trey just to kind of see like, hey, is this a good idea? Like, do you think it's like something I
Hmm.
could figure out or do? Um, and so it was kind of cool because Elaine and I kind of did it at the same time. We kind of transitioned to virtual as well because she's doing
Yep.
a lot of Zoom, um, and I was like, okay, I'm going to figure out this phone thing then. So it was kind of cool because I reached out to you. I plugged in to your Zoom, which was an excellent tool because it's like you can get in-home training from a Hall of Fame producer while you're in the home, and
Right.
the client can't hear it. You know what I mean? Like the client says something, that's dumb. I can get expert advice on how to handle it or how to approach it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And so and what I'm really trying to get at is the fact, you're not on my team, you're not on Matt Goodrich's team, right? But you felt compelled to reach out to people like us. And that's what I try to help a lot of agents understand. Like your your training does not have to come directly from your upline or your team. The great agents here, they're great at networking and chasing down information that they need, right. Getting information from people that's doing the things that they want to do regardless if they're on their team or not. So how how valuable was that to your process, just
Oh, dude, that was the most valuable thing because I say this a lot to everybody, but I really think we have like the best agency in all of FFL when it comes to that, like in the coast to coast hierarchy specifically. Like we have the most approachable and kind and just like they want everybody to win. Like we have the most approachable Hall of Fame agents in the agency, in my opinion. Because I have not had one single negative experience with anybody in our team that they just want to help people, help everybody grow, and just help go out and serve more families and save more agents. Without a doubt,
yeah.
like we just want everybody to win.
Yeah, and I think it all spawns from Trey, man. We have a great leader like Trey, that's so selfless, right? That he really wants everybody to win. He does whatever and he can do to help everybody win, and it just floods down into the entire agency, and it's like a culture. So we all want to help everybody win because our leader at the top there, that's what he lives. And not even, you can go further even to Sean Mike, right? But I'm just talking about in the coast to coast hierarchy, starting with Trey, our leader there. He's so selfless that it just bleeds down into the agency, right? And so, man, and I like to talk. I mean, that's how I got to where I am. And that's one reason why when you call me or you text me, so if I'm not busy, I'm so quick to get back to you because you remind me so much of myself when I was starting, that I was reaching out to everybody, reaching up to everybody, and no one ever told me no. Like no one ever said, Brandon, I don't have time for you. I can't help you. So I'm not going to be the first person to start that, here, right? I'm gonna keep, paying it forward, because God is gonna always make sure that it comes back, when you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart and you're doing it from a good place, right? But definitely, just to be able to help you, man, it's been a blessing. So let's talk about so you reached out, you kind of got information on, hey, how do I need to do this? What do I need to be focusing on so that you could get on track for yourself? But you still needed leads at the end of the day. we all know that none of us are going out and, hounding our friends and family, within, about insurance. We're all, investing properly into our business, through leads. So let's talk about, lead flow, because I think I really love the lead flow that you're running, because you're able to, keep your, I don't want to say keep your costs low, because you're investing, the proper amount of money each week, but you're stacking the deck in your favor with the type of lead flow that you're running. So let's talk about, your lead flow at this time.
Yeah, so I think currently right now my lead flow at this time, I'm working nothing but internet leads, Facebook final expense, any 1 to 12-month-old mailer I can get my hands on off the CRM, and live transfers. So I'm just working I'm just working a mix of all of the leads that a new agent could get their hands on. So that way I can make it as replicatable as possible for anyone that wants to work with me and wants to get started. I think it's a really solid lead mix, and it's also any new agent can get started with anything off of the CRM. So the trick with telesales, and especially with CRM leads, is you can get just the volume, and new agents are going to need volume. And when you're doing telesales, you need volume anyways too.
Yeah.
So it's a high volume. You want a lot of people to call, and you also want a lot of at bats, and you want to count how many times you're able to stand on the plate and swing.
Right.
And so having that lead flow with internet, it gives me the chance to be able to do that.
Yes, and I'm sure you're using, your work spots discount, which also helps as well. And then so your ROI is I would think it's through the roof, because of the investment for those lead types, i.e. the live transfers. We know how that can be, because there's on a bid thing, but the CRM leads and your age mortgage protection leads, I'm sure you're getting those leads for a fraction of the cost, right?
Yes, and that's the thing, because I mean, even like right now, there's so many leads that are being generated on the CRM that there's been I don't know if you pay attention, but there's been 5 different work spots discounts in the last week, in the last month, or what have you. So the cool thing with telesales is you're not limited to what's in your county. You can get leads in any county, any state that you want to get your license in. And this past month, there was a 55% discount on internet. And so I was able to get, 100 instants for $400, $500,
right,
for a lead cost. You sell one out of 100, you protect one family. Like what are the odds you can't protect one family out of 100 internet leads for
almost
half the cost?
Right.
Almost non-existent. So it puts it the work spots really puts the work spots really puts the ball in your court. Instead of having to do a half court shot, you have a 2-pointer, and it's a lot easier. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And so let's talk about so I really want to dig into, the live transfers. I have the chance to actually watch you, go through these live transfers on the call center, day in and day out. Talk about the live transfers, and what was the adjustment like on the live transfers, and how, and what's that process like for you, with the live transfer?
Yeah, so live transfers were brand new to me, and I felt, I've been doing this for about a year, but I felt and I've been selling over the phone for the past 3 months, but including live transfers, I felt like a brand new agent working, a new lead type. So there's a learning curve, right?
Yeah.
So I felt like a brand new agent again, making making mistakes that I don't normally make because I get nervous.
Yeah.
So there's a learning curve with it, and so you just kind of have to get through it and figure out what works for you. So for me, the trap I kind of fell into with the live transfers is I just wanted to make sure I was talking to somebody that was serious, but I fell into this trap of, over explaining everything up front. And so it's been, I went like probably 3 for 19 on some live transfers. And I was like, what the heck am I not doing right?
Right.
And so I actually reached out to Elaine, and she heard some of my recordings and some of my calls. And one of the things we picked out was like, I'm over explaining everything, taking 15 minutes before I even get into the financial inventory.
Yeah.
And the mindset of a live transfer is that, it's an internet lead that's just being outbound dialed for you. And then once they find someone that has, that's breathing oxygen and they confirm they just want a quote, then they'll transfer them over to you. And once you get transferred, a lot of the people are just expecting a quick quote or talking to a sales rep.
Mhm.
And so one of the things is you do want to slow it down and just, set the table. But I just took too long with setting the table. I took 15 minutes to say, hey, we're submitting this application. I'm going to need all this, this, and this. And it would actually annoy people because those people that are being transferred are going through like being on hold after they're getting called by somebody.
Mhm.
So, and sometimes you run into people that were on their way out the door, like in the middle of something. So it doesn't mean you always have to close them right then and there or do the appointment right then and there.
Mhm.
You can book an appointment off of it, and it's just a high quality lead that you can treat it like.
Okay.
So I reached out to Landon because he's been killing it on live transfers too.
He has.
And so I had no problem. I've been here longer, but I have no problem reaching out to a new agent that's been helping 10 families a week.
Right.
That can help me, right? Because I feel like if they're just helping 10 families a week consistently, they're one of the best people you can talk to, no matter how long you've been here.
Correct. And it's all about, just getting the information that you need, and again, it doesn't matter if you've been here longer than somebody. Like you said, if they're crushing it, all you want to do is find out, what are they doing to crush it and see if there's something that you can change within your business, right?
Yes.
To make that change, for yourself. So so I know so you were spending too much time up front, explaining everything, but even you said 3 for 19, right? I think I would think you probably would still were profitable.
Still profitable. Yeah, it's still profitable. And it just depends, because right now live transfers are going anywhere from between 80 to $100 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're spending, if you get 19, you're spending roughly how much, and then about 1,900, and then you just help a couple families, you're good. But usually you should be closing 30 to 40%. That's the standard. That is the normal. That is like the conversion rate, not just from one agent, but across the board.
Right. So that's like 3 out of 10.
Three out of
10. 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 range, and you're gonna be good. I think when we spoke with Matt, he was like, I mean, even if you're at 20%, you're gonna be profitable, but you want to be around 30 to 40% to really, really push that needle for yourself, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And then so what would you what would you, when it comes to the live transfer, and then you made your change, so where are you at now? What is your close percentage now? Now that you've kind of gotten it, is it right at that 30 to 40% range at this time?
Yeah, it's at 40% now.
Okay.
It's about 40-50%.
Okay. Would you mind going into a little bit of the script,
I would love to.
there with on the live transfer, at least like that beginning, and how you're kind of moving it along there in the beginning, and getting it to, hey, this is what we're going to be looking at type of thing today?
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. Yeah, if you're fine with like just role playing it, I'll just be the client. So, I've been transferred over, to you at this time. What does that look like?
Cool. Hey, this is Samuel Hankey. Whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hey, my name is Brandon.
Oh, hey, Brandon. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing great. So I'm a licensed underwriter, and I have your state here. You're in Arizona. Is that right?
That is correct.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm a licensed underwriter in the state of Arizona. What that means, Brandon, is I'm not like a sales rep for just one insurance company. I work with over 30 A+ rated insurance carriers. So my simple job, Brandon, is just to ask you some basic health questions just to find out which companies and what coverages you can qualify for, okay?
Okay.
Okay, great. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, Brandon, I just need to verify some of the information here I have for you. I have your cell phone number as this, I have your state as this, zip code as this, and your birthday as, September 18th, 1989. Is that right?
Yep, that's all accurate.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, Brandon, I'm gonna go ahead and send you a copy of my state license and my driver's license. Okay. And
Okay.
then if you have a pen and paper, or can you go grab a pen and paper for me?
Yes, I actually have pen and paper right here.
Okay, great. I just want you to write down my Arizona state license number. It is my national producer number. It's 1978 7246.
Okay.
Okay, great. And with that number, Brandon, if you ever needed to, you can go to the Department of Insurance, give them a call, go to their website, type it in, and find me. That way you know who I am. Okay.
All right. That makes sense.
Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, Brandon, are you currently at home right now, sitting somewhere that you're able to write some numbers down with me?
I am.
Okay, awesome. And are you married, Brandon, single, widow, divorced, separated?
I'm married.
Married? Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. What's your spouse's name?
Teresa.
Teresa. Okay, awesome. Are you and Teresa, are you both together right now?
Yes, she's right here with me.
Oh, okay, great. Can you throw me on speakerphone just so she can hear me?
Okay. Yep. All right. I have you on speakerphone, and she's right here. Say hi, honey.
Hey, Teresa, how's it going? All right, awesome. So are you, Brandon, are you just kind of looking for coverage options for yourself today, or was this for Teresa as well?
Mainly for myself. Just want to make sure if something happens that her and the kids are okay. We have some coverage on her right now, and on myself. Just looking to definitely add some more.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So are you currently still working full time, Brandon? Are you disabled, retired, unemployed?
Working full time, man. Got 6 kids. Can't stop working.
Oh shoot, yeah. Heck yeah, of course you're working. Well, that's a blessing, right? Big
Yeah, it
family.
is. It is.
That's good. Okay. Have you been trying to get some extra insurance set up for a while now, or am I the first person you've been able to speak to about it?
Uh, you're actually the first person. We just kind of thought about it, a couple of days ago, and figured we'd, look at some additional options at this time.
Awesome. Okay, great. Well, lucky me and lucky you, because I work with over 30 different carriers, so I'll definitely be able to shop around with you. Um, the way it works, Brandon, is super simple, and I'm just a licensed broker with the state of Arizona. So my job's just to pull up all the options available, and everything's based off of your age and your health. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you about 2 minutes of some quick medical questions, 2 minutes of some quick financial and other insurance questions you may or may not have. And based off of how you answer that, I'm just going to take about 5 minutes to kind of plug everything into my computer, see which companies, which options are available for you. And we'll just look to see kind of, which company is offering you the best rate. And at that point, if it makes sense for you, if it's comfortable, and it most importantly, it fits your budget, that's great. I could just help you submit a request for coverage to the insurance carriers just to see if you can qualify for the coverage, okay? Because
Okay.
unfortunately, we can't commit to anything today. Before you can buy the insurance, you do have to get approved for it first. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. They check your medical history to make sure everything you share with me is accurate, as well as your background, just to make sure you are who you say you are. No one's trying to get insurance in your name, anything like that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. And then, Brandon, the reason I went ahead and I sent you all my information, like my license and my ID, is just so you know that I am a real person. I am really licensed in the state of Arizona. So if I were to misuse any of your personal information, I would go to federal prison. As you can see, I'm pretty young. That's not how I want to spend my life. Okay, Brandon?
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay,
That makes
great.
sense.
And I'm going to tell you up front, because I'm honest with all my clients. The insurance carriers, if we submit a request today, they do require your driver's license to make sure you don't have any DUIs, not a crazy driver. They do require your social security number. So all your medical history is tied to, that's how they review it. And they do
Okay.
require your bank account information, like your account and routing number. That's how you'd be funding the policy if you were to get approved for anything, as well as they want to make sure no one's trying to get insurance in your name. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. I'll hop right into it with you.
Okay. Wow. And then so you just very upfront in the beginning on what this process is going to look like today. And first of all, you're doing a great job of verifying yourself, validating yourself, taking away any any uneasiness, right? That they may have, although they're getting transferred over to you. From what I've seen on the live transfers, they're a little more trusting, right? Because they were transferred to you. It's not like you actually called them, and saying, "Hey, I got to, do this with you." They were transferred to you as a licensed agent, so there's already some credibility there, right? And then once you go through all of that, that really just solidifies everything, and makes them, comfortable. So once you get through that and then you get into the appointment, are you seeing a lot of pushback on those pieces of sensitive information once you get into everything?
No, not at all. Because if I treat it, I like the goal of that is just so I can increase my credibility and reduce sales pressure, and that there's no surprises.
Mm,
So they're getting transferred. They know what it is. Sometimes they act elusive, like they didn't think they were going to buy insurance, but
right.
they're just trying to sell you on that. They know they need it. They know that their family needs it. They just don't know how to get it. And so most of the people that get transferred, they don't know anything about life insurance. So I just treat my job as if I'm just trying to educate them about insurance and just let them know, hey, I'm going to walk you through everything. And at the end of the day, I can't make you protect your family, but I'm going to show you how you can.
Got you. Yeah, and you said a key word just now, like they're trying to sell you, right? So it's either you sell or be sold, right? Because they're trying to sell you on why they don't need it right now, right? When
Yes.
when we know good and well that everyone needs this right now, like yesterday, right? So
Yes.
it's either you're gonna actually sell them and help them protect their family like it needs to be done, or you're gonna allow them to sell you on why it's not important to protect their family right now,
Yes.
right? Okay, and are you and so you're not getting a lot of pushback, um, on getting that information. Are you getting any pushback, at all that's differently from the traditional route and how we're calling and booking the appointment and then going out or helping them over the phone?
No, it's the same. It's the same pushback. Because that was like my biggest thing was when I was, I thought telesales would be so different than the in-home or in the person helping families, but fundamentally it's the same formula. So
Okay,
book 30 appointments, go see 30 families a week. You can't fail. You're going to run into those 25% that just want the insurance, and then over time you're just going to get better. That's the same thing when you're transitioning to telesales. You'll run into objections, but the trick to getting better at handling them. So like when I first got started with telesales, I ran into a lot of pushback about personal information. And
hmm,
so I had to run into, I had to run into that 10, 20, 30 times before I figured out what worked for me on what to say in order to avoid that.
right,
So it's just having enough volume of activity and chances to be able to figure out what works best for you and what works best for you, helping establish trust with the client.
right. Because that's all. Because I always tell people, the key to the telesale, the virtual sale, especially telesale, unlike say like Zoom where they can see your face, like how we can see each other now, is the only thing you have going for you over the phone is you gotta allow your spirit to shine through the phone, right? Like your spirit has to shine through in terms of them knowing that you're a very genuine person, and you genuinely just care about helping them protect their family at this time, right? Um, and then there are things that you can do to help cultivate that, which is what you talked about, the way that you're doing it to help reduce the sales pressure, right? To increase your credibility and reduce the sales pressure, from the beginning of the call, so that they understand that you're just here to help them, take care of this and make sure that they get a chance to see what all options actually exist for them at this time. Is that about right?
Yes.
Okay, and I see Dizzle here. He's like slow and steady. So, your demeanor is and I listen to you all the time, but your demeanor is so slow and steady. You're not all high pitched and all giddy and customer servicey. What being being slow and steady like that? How would you say that has like just helped your calls with everything you do over the phone?
It's helped a lot because I want to, sometimes you'll get a client that's like, oh, I just want a quote. So if you just slow it down a bit, but you quickly get into that financial inventory, you can kind of get some progress with the client and have them open up. The only reason I'm slow and steady is I just want to be able to like let them know, hey, it's going to take 10-15 minutes. If they can't do it right then and there, then I'm going to pivot to booking an appointment with them. And that way I can quickly turn on my next live transfer while I'm outbound dialing.
Right.
So I think, yeah.
So instead of trying to force it right then and there on the spot and get them to move right now because they were transferred over to you, you're taking the approach like Matt. Okay, let's find a time that you actually going to have 10, 15, 20 minutes to go through this very important information that we got to go through, and then you're booking the appointment to then get back on the phone with them.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And then how much success are you finding there in terms of like the show ratio on these appointments, and then I would say the conversion rate, on getting them help after booking the appointment with them versus trying to make them move right now over the phone.
Yeah. So if I don't tie it down correctly, I'm gonna get a no-show, right? So I want to make sure I tie it down like maybe 3-4 times just to make sure, and I'll plug them into my Calendly, and I'll send them an email and a text reminder too.
Okay.
But my phone script for booking the appointment, it's the same thing. It's the same normal script everybody uses, but the way I tie it down now is the specific tie downs I think are the most important.
Let's go through that. If you
Yeah.
don't mind sharing that. Okay,
Yeah.
we got the appointment booked for tomorrow at 2:30. Let's tie that down.
Perfect. Okay, great. So Brandon, what time did we say that works best for you tomorrow?
2:30.
2:30. Okay, great. If you just give me a half-hour window between 2:30 and 3, in case I run a bit behind. But are you pretty good about keeping your appointments, Brandon?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, great. And then you have it written down already, which is awesome. But what I'm going to go ahead and do, Brandon, who is going to be the primary beneficiary for you?
It'd be my wife, Teresa.
Teresa. Okay, great. So then I'm going to give you a call tomorrow at 2:30 for you and Teresa, and I look forward to speaking with you and helping you.
Okay.
And you'll get a text from me with my license, my ID. You'll also get a text reminder from our system just to remind you about the appointment.
Okay. All right. So you're challenging them, you're making, hey, are you good at keeping your appointments? Right. So you're challenging them, making them, double verify that, yes, I'll be there. So they're saying in their head that, they're kind of saying in their head that, yes, I'll be there. I do keep my appointments. So that, I know, using that, it really makes them step up to the challenge because they've already, said that they're good at something, and they don't want to let that person down, right?
Yeah. So I'll have them write it in their calendar, and then I'll ask them the time, what time worked best, just to test them to see if they were paying attention.
Right.
And then And then I'll basically ask them, are you good about keeping your appointments? And then I'm going to get that primary benefit. I'm going to get the beneficiary. Like, who are we doing this for? I want to get that. So that way, they're more likely to show up because they know that it's going to be for Teresa. It's not for, it's not for just a quote. It's for Teresa.
Right. Right. Yeah. Making them talk about that beneficiary, making them speak that name. Yeah, man. No, so your phone game, like I said, is definitely impressive. I mean, I don't take credit for anything. You've put the work in to get your script to where it's at. You've done the calling around and speaking to all the different top producers here, to get input so that you could get your phone script to where it's at. So you did that yourself, and you've done a great job. I get a chance to witness it on the call center. Let's talk about real quick when you, for your on your lead strategy, because I know we had a talk the other day, and you wanted to really up your consistency, and we had to talk about what needed to be done, and you brought it to me yourself. You're like, I know I need to invest more, right? So I need to up my investment weekly, my non-negotiable investment, right? That's non-negotiable every week. Would you like to share with the team,
Yeah.
what that non-negotiable investment is into your business each week?
Yeah. So my goal this year is to help 400 families. And so I kind of just based it off of what I did last year. And it all adds up, right? Because a Hall of Fame producer that helps 400 families a year spends at least $2,000 a week on leads and invests $2,000 a week into leads, right?
Right.
Well, I broke it down last year, and my averages, right? Because I helped out 180 families.
Mm-hmm.
My average lead cost, it ended up probably about like $1,000 a week was my average lead cost. So it ended up being about between $4,000 to $5,000 I spent a month last
Mm-hmm.
year on my leads, and I was able to help 180 families out of that
In 9 months.
So in 9 months, right?
Right.
So if I kind of reevaluated with you and with Matt, and I was like, okay, so if I just help minimally, or if I just invest minimally 2,000, 2,500 a week consistently, and I don't track it week by week, but I track it on a monthly basis. So if I'm doing 2,500 at least a week, I can help 400 families.
Right.
Just by, and that's not including me getting better over the course of
right. Yeah.
at this for 12 months, right?
Yeah.
So if I just double what I invested last year, I will triple the amount of families I was able to help this year. I'll be able to help this year.
Right.
So it's simple math. The only trick is it's the goal is to not get emotional about it or get in our own heads, which is why it's so important to reach out to other people, to like Stephen, you, Matt, everybody in our agency. Because sometimes, when we're dealing with money, we can get emotional,
right?
And that in turn will negatively affect our business.
Yeah, because it's gonna make you make a decision that is not good for your business, right?
Yes.
A
permanent decision based off of a temporary emotion.
Correct. So and you just talked about the fact that making that and making it non-emotional, okay, because it can be that way. Are you doing certain things with your, like, do you have multiple bank accounts set up for your business, where it's like you're not pulling the money out of your personal account every week to get your leads? Because I know for me, that's what made it emotional for me in the beginning, because I didn't listen to Stephen when he told me to set up multiple bank accounts, so that way the money goes into one account and then is moved around to the other accounts, and then I have my lead account that's where I'm always pulling my money from my leads. So it's not emotional because that account specifically says leads on it. It says leads account, so that means I know I got the money that's in there goes toward leads. It's not money that has to go towards my bills or anything. So it helped me take the emotions out of making the lead purchases. Is that something that you've done, to help take the emotion out, when you're getting your leads?
Yes. Yeah. So I have two separate bank accounts. One's FFL, one is my personal.
Okay. Okay. And then so it makes it very easy to just, hey, when I got to get leads, I know that this account, here is that's what it's for, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, man. I just appreciate you going through everything with us today, you know, and just the fact of being able to continue to witness what you're doing. Again, you're on the call center every week, if not every day. And so anyone that's on the call now, if you would like to see Sam in action, all you have to do is be on the Marathon Call Center. I'm on there. I'm in action pretty much every day as much as I can. But we're actually not the ones that need the help at this point, right? And when you first got on, you were needing the help. So you were unmuting yourself all the time because you were like, hey, I need you to listen to me, right? I need you to, hear what I'm saying, and please, critique me. Feel free to tell me exactly what I'm doing wrong because I'm trying to get this right, which is the attitude that anyone should have if you're trying to get better, right?
Yes.
If you're trying to get better. So, because the only way that you can get better, and I've watched Sam get better on this call center, was by unmuting himself, allowing us to hear what he was saying, and then saying, what could I have I done differently? Or, like he said, being able to just mute right in the middle of his call and say, hey, what should I say right now? Right.
Yeah.
you know,
Like
and,
sometimes I
and
still run into things and I'm like, Brandon, I have no idea what to say to this person.
yeah, but what is the value of being on the call center where you can actually get real time help right while you on the call, not missing the opportunity to help the family, and then somebody telling you, oh, you could have done this. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're like, oh, I could have done that and I could have helped the family. What is the value to be able to get the help right there on the spot?
Dude, if you're in a sinking ship and someone else is in a floating ship and they can tell you how to fix your sinking ship, but you don't say anything and you sink into the ocean, like why would you not get help?
Right,
Like
right.
it benefits everybody if you just help. So why wouldn't you help somebody?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't
yeah,
you reach out and ask for help? Because the thing is like you can help somebody invest in them and now they can go out and do the same thing for someone else and help out another agent.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just that simple. It's not that deep, as Sean says, right? It's not that deep. So, man, so again, I just want to, just thank you, for, leading by example. Again, 22 years old, man. I was nowhere near, at this point in my life at 22, mentally and looking at things, in the light that you do. So just proud of you, man. Love the opportunity, to work with you, learn from you as well, because I do that also. Before we get out of here, one quick tip, to new agents. Okay, to new agents at this time, to help them, get moving a little bit faster. At this time, what would one tip be from you at this time?
Yeah, so like brand new agent,
Yeah,
if you can, I would say run in the field. If you have the arms, the legs, and the willpower to go out or you have the vehicle, like go out and go see families in person and just run 100 appointments and make a mess
yeah,
of things and just move fast and then reach out for help after. Because we can't, like your upline or the people that hire you bring into this business, we really can't help you until you at least go out and get some experience, and then we
right.
could readjust and realign. But don't spend too much time, thinking about preparing to get ready. Go out and just make a mess of things, and then come back and we can fix it.
Right,
That's
because
that's the fastest way.
yeah, just get out of your own way and go do it. Make some mistakes. You're not gonna, it's not gonna hurt anything. You can't mess anything up all the way, right? So just go make some mistakes, and then you come back and we readjust, and then you get better as you go, right?
Yep.
Man, so man, I just appreciate you again, Sam. I would like to see if anybody has any questions for Sam. We probably got at least 5 more minutes. of time available. If anybody have any questions for Sam at this time, you're free to drop your question in the chat box. We can get an answer. If not, I understand he's done a great job of really going through his stuff today, very slow and steady, and just like how he is on the phone. So, but I do. Okay, we did get a question here. So Kim wanted to know, what do you love the most about FFL?
Yeah, I think the thing I love the most is that when I was brand new, when I saw how how successful a lot of the people in FFL are, one of the things that I would like not idolize, but I would kind of think like, oh, they must be better than me in some way or somehow, right? Because that's kind of like the mentality you have growing up from middle class families, is that really successful people were born lucky, or they have something about them that is unattainable for a normal person. But the more time I spent around successful people, I realized that they're normal, broken people just like me, that just worked really hard and reached out for help, and they were able to do amazing things for their family. That's the thing I love the most about FFL, is that everybody's super humble and they're just normal people.
Right. Yeah. We're all humans. We all put our pants on one leg at a time. And I know exactly what you mean, because that's how I was when, like you said, when you don't come from that type of environment, when I first came here, I remember, watching trainings on, people like Paul McLean and Matt Smith, and I was looking at them like gods, like, man, these people are like, special. And then when I met them, like, they're just like me. Like, they're just like me. They just put the work in, to get them to build themselves to where they're at. Right. And I just have to do the same, work on myself, because it all resides here, within here and within here, and if I work on this and this, nobody can stop me. Right. And nobody can stop me. I'm unstoppable. As long as I work on these two things, my heart and my mind, nobody can stop me. Right. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, man. Landon wanted to know, he said, you're one of the most consistent, and he first, have you always been that way, and what helped you gain consistency?
It was it was my why. So like my dad had passed away in 2019, and he spent his whole life kind of providing for his family, working hard, like manual labor jobs. And when he passed away, he got sick with lung cancer, and I saw his health decline, and he passed away, at 58 years young. And he worked so hard his whole life for so little. And here I could work really, really hard for a short amount of time and get a lot. So how could I ever complain? How could I ever just not be consistent and work at it, when there's so much to gain with this opportunity in such a short amount of time with such short sacrifice? We're not out here digging ditches, right? We're just being on the phone for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, helping families in an air conditioned room or air conditioned car. So,
Right.
I got to see what other people have done in a short amount of time. So, why not be consistent?
Yeah, man. We definitely, condolences, to your dad. I know how much he meant to you. And I think you hit the nail right on the head when you said your why, because everyone that I talk to here at Family First Life that are moving, that are just making waves here at Family First Life, it's all tied back to their why. Right. It's like, for whatever reason that is, whatever their why is, it all ties back to their why, and just, hearing you talk about, how hard your dad worked, for as little as what he made, that resonates with me, because, my why, of course, is my wife, my kids, my mom, you know, um, my dad wasn't there for me. So I want to be that. I want to be that dad for my kids. Right. And so, but I also always think about whenever I get down or I think I'm having it bad or I think that I'm working hard or I'm working too hard, what I think about is my grandmother. I think about my grandmother and what she had to do, or what she would have had to do to help 400 families like I did last year, to make the money that I made from helping 400 families, right? How much cotton would she have to pick at 10 cents a pound? That's what I think about, right? Because that's a lot of cotton. That's a lot of cotton to be picking at 10 cents a pound to make what I made last year by helping 400 families. Right. So whenever I think that I'm working hard, I just think about the people that came before me, my ancestors. How hard did they work to get,
Yes.
to get me to where I have the opportunity to do the things that I can do today. Right. And that's what we need to think about a lot of times. We think about ourselves, think about your ancestors, think about the people that came before you that put the work in to allow you to be in a position where you can now reap benefits that you're reaping right now. Right. Think about that. And if you can come away from that and thinking that, and with the attitude of, if you're working, this is too hard for you, then something is wrong with you.
Yes.
Something is majorly wrong with you, because this is not hard what we do, and it's not that deep, as well. So, man, Sam, I just want to thank you again, man, for coming on, sharing, your story with, with the entire Sky Point Agency and the entire FFL, culture here, because I know this will be out, for everybody to watch. Can't thank you enough, man. Just so excited to continue to witness your growth, continue to work with you, as well, to help you obtain those goals that you have for yourself. And for me, anything for Elaine, man. I can't leave Elaine out. Like Elaine, like she meant everything to my career in the beginning, because she was Trey Honeycutt's admin when I started. And to see where she's gone from being Trey's admin just over 2.5 years ago to now leading an agency, that's helping over 800 families a month, right? It's, man, this is the best opportunity, hands down.
100%.
In America, and so I'm here to help in any way I can. Let us know what we can do for you, Sam. Thank you again, man. For coming on the call. I know Stephen greatly appreciates it. The Sky Point Agency, we appreciate it, and we appreciate everyone tuning in today as well. Hey, let's go out here and close out this week. Close out our weeks on a strong point. Get these families protected, and then get into our final week of the month, and go out and break some records. Hey, the Sky Point's the high point. Love you guys. Marathon continues.
Thanks, BK.